Even I'm surprised that I've never made a video about the rosemary hair rinse. It's been all over the hair care community social media for years. Why? Well, rosemary is said to be really effective for hair growth. It's said that its anti-inflammatory compounds can block hair shedding hormones, known as DHT. It's also antimicrobial, which helps keep a healthy scalp and reduces dandruff. Its slightly acidic pH is said to make hair smoother and shinier, and it acts as a natural vasodilator, which widens blood vessels, improving circulation and increasing hair growth. So I think it's about time we try it. Oh my god, that was terrible. We're ready. So I was supposed to be doing this a couple weeks ago, but this is what happened to the rosemary. I left it in the fridge a couple weeks too long. Although you can use dried rosemary for this, it's kind of gone a bit black in places. So I don't know if this is going to be the best thing to use, so we're going to go get some more. Our rosemary. Now we're gonna go home, make our rosemary concoction. There's a putty cat underneath this sofa.
So cute!
We're back, but it turns out we don't have a pot.
Oh no!
I thought, being that this place came with a kitchen and a hob, that there would be a pot. The only thing we have is a saucepan, which does have about an inch of depth. We could try this, but I've got a plan B. We do, however, have a kettle. I'm thinking we put the rosemary in the kettle with some water and we just boil it a couple of times. Who's meowing? Oh, it's you. As always, there is a cat. Do you have anything to say? What I'm actually first going to do is wash the rosemary. I'm just going to put some tap water in it. No, don't go in there. I think she's on heat. What's going on? I know what she wants. She wants him. Come up, you've already got kittens. I know what you're like. Look at her, she wants him.
Bruh.
He's not interested. I'm sorry, babe. I'm just rinsing the rosemary in this frying pan because it's all we've got. I mean, actually, I could probably simmer it in the pan. This is my tea because I'm currently sick. So I'm now just gonna cut them off the stems. Okay, for the purpose of curiosity, we're actually going to make a batch in here and a batch in the kettle and see what happens. We're going to actually use drinking water for this because it's going to be the best option for our hair. If you didn't know, in Bali, the water can be quite toxic. It has a lot of minerals and chemicals in it and just bad stuff that I don't really want in my hair. And the rest we're going to put in here. I've cut it up to make it just a bit easier. Filled it about halfway up. This is now simmering. Because it's so shallow, we may need to add more water throughout, so I'm just going to have some on the side just to keep topping it up. So we're going to leave that to simmer and we'll be back when it's ready. Add a little bit more water in here. This is actually just finished boiling, but I feel like I might need to do a few more boils. I'm going to set it again.
A few moments later.
It overflowed slightly, so I think I need to stop boiling this now. So I think rather than continuing to reboil this, I'm actually just going to let it steep as if it were tea. And as for this, we're just going to keep it on a low simmer. Just come outside and there's another one. This boy is so shy, but he does like to chill out sometimes. And this is what it looks like once it's finished with. So now that it's cooled down, I'm going to transfer it into this bottle because it's the only bottle that I have. What? Oops. It's actually gone this really nice red, almost like a tea color. But I think as time passes, it's gonna go more brown. Smells great. So now we have all of this to rinse our hair with. Hopefully I can make this last maybe 2 or 3 rinses if I keep it in the fridge. We're gonna use this for our next hair wash.
1 week later.
So then I got sick, and it's now been 8 days since I made my rosemary water, and I still haven't used it, but today is the day that we're gonna use it. I'm pretty sure it's still okay to use. It has got a lot darker, but it's been in the fridge. There's no mold, there's no weird stuff floating around in it. It just smells really strongly of rosemary. I've also lost 2 nails since you last saw me, so very sad. We are due a trip to the nail salon, but first, let's go try the rosemary water hair rinse. Okay, brace yourself. If you haven't watched some of my recent hair video, basically since living in Bali, my hair has got a lot worse. Thinner, drier, more breakage, more split ends. It's a mess, but we're just accepting it. This is the state of my ends. You can see how dry they are and thin. It's just the way it is. I'm also making a makeshift cup out of a plastic bottle, and you'll see why this comes in handy later. I'm just going to start by brushing my hair. I always do this before washing my hair. In the shower, I'm doing a normal wash with shampoo and conditioner, and I'm using the same shampoo and conditioner that I've used the last couple weeks, just so there's no change in my hair apart from the rosemary rinse. Okay, now we're taking our rosemary water. I'm a little bit scared to do this because it's so cold. It's been in the fridge. This is what we're using this for, okay? This is what I do every time I use an apple cider vinegar rinse as well. It's just a better way to get your hair saturated. We're just going to take our hair and dunk it in, so that way your hair can kind of marinate a little bit and it gets fully submerged in whatever rinse you're using. I feel like it's going to dye my hair red, maybe. I wouldn't complain. So we can dunk it like this. Now we're going to take it on the other side. Okay, we're now going to pour the rest of it onto my scalp. I'm doing this very similarly to how I would do my apple cider vinegar hair rinse. I'm just slowly drizzling it over my scalp, and I'm massaging it into my scalp just to make sure it's really getting in there. So that's all of it on my scalp and hair. It doesn't feel particularly conditioning. And now the trick is that you leave this in your hair to dry. No rinsing. I am just going to rinse my body though, because I don't want to smell like rosemary. Okay, I have to say, it doesn't feel great. It kind of feels like it's gonna be drying. It just didn't feel particularly conditioning in my hair. It doesn't feel slippery at all. It kind of just feels not great, but we will see when it dries. Okay, so while I'm waiting for my hair to dry, I'm gonna show you around the room that I'm currently staying in, because it's quite magical. It's very whimsy, but I'm also leaving tomorrow, and I'm gonna explain why I cut my stay here short. So I'm currently in Ubud. So obviously we have the shower here. It's so cool. It's like an outdoor shower. I love that it has like these plants and everything. So this is the bathroom. This is the little area. This is where I've been keeping, oh well, there's actually not much in there. And my beauty products, I've actually packed a lot of it up because I am leaving tomorrow, as I said, so I've just got some random bits and bobs out. And then round here is the bathroom, so you can sit and be on the toilet whilst looking up here. So you can sit on the toilet whilst looking at the banana tree, or maybe the plantains, and the coconut. I love it. It's super magical and spiritually themed. Anyway, so that's the outside, and then we come into the room. This is the bedroom. It's a little bit messy over here at the moment because we are packing. The bed here, bedside tables, then there's a little area here which is a mess at the moment. A little area here where you can make tea. This is a little outdoor area, and then there are a few other rooms in this place. So I've been living in Bali for 8 months now, and I actually move every 1 to 2 weeks, if you can believe it. The longest I've stayed anywhere is 1 month, and I've done that twice, but I don't know, for some reason I'm not tired of it yet. Here's me moisturizing my legs. The reason I move so much, honestly, I actually quite like seeing a lot of different places. I've now been in Canggu, Uluwatu and Ubud, and I've got to know these places pretty well. But it's also because it's really hard to find a place that is just right for me. Here I'm just packing, by the way. Every single place that I've been always has a catch. There's always something missing that I need to be comfortable. Sometimes the place is great, but it just doesn't have a kitchen, or it doesn't have a kettle so I can't make tea, or it just doesn't have a great filming area. Sometimes the location isn't quite right, or it's too noisy outside. So I'm still on the hunt for my perfect place, and until then, I just move around a lot. It's probably one of the most beautiful and nicely decorated rooms that I've been in, and it was about the same price that I've been paying in all the other places, about £12-ish per night. Bali is very inexpensive. This place was particularly inexpensive for what it is, but the catch was that unfortunately it has a lot of damp. It smelled kind of musty and damp, kind of felt like I was in someone's basement, and especially whilst I was sick, it just wasn't a good place to recover, so I had to actually book somewhere else for a couple nights to recover. Also, the location is a little bit tricky to get to and from, and the air and the energy here just felt very heavy. So there's always a catch to every place, but I did really enjoy filming in this place. It was beautiful. I made a whole series about how I moved from the UK to Bali. It's on my second channel. I show every step that I had to take to make it happen, and I've made a few vlogs about my life here. I'm going to link that series below so you've got something to watch after this video if you fancy it. I'm also offering one-on-one calls. If there's anything you've ever wanted to know or ask me about or talk about, now you can. The link's below. Because I move around a lot, I am constantly going on my laptop to try and find my next place to stay, and I'm very picky because I have certain criteria for places that I can film in. I have been in Ubud for the past 3 weeks-ish, and I think I'm gonna head back to Canggu. So in order for my hair to fully dry, I'm gonna need to go outside. So I thought I would show you a little bit of the surrounding area because it is beautiful. So I thought while we're taking my hair out for a little dry off, I will take you to my favourite cafe in Ubud, where I'm going to go for a couple hours to get some work done, and then I'm going to come back and film the results of my hair once it's completely dry. Okay, check this out. I had to show you on my way to town. I go past this abandoned building. It's super interesting. I don't know what it is about abandoned places, but they are just fascinating. Look at this. Usually actually that door is open and you can see inside. It looks like somebody sometimes sleeps in there. How cool is that? The walk to town is actually a very treacherous and random little walk. You'll see what I mean. This has fallen since last time. That is so dangerous. We're gonna go on this side. And then you somehow end up in town. Fortunately, my favourite cafe is actually right over the road, just by coincidence. Okay, this is it. It's called Casa Luna. So one of the reasons why this is my favourite cafe is it's actually the first cafe I ever came into when I came to Bali, because I spent my first 4 weeks in the middle of nowhere, and then we once came to visit Ubud, and this was the first cafe that I came across, and I came in because I was famished. I had like a lovely moment in this cafe. So I've got myself a strawberry Danish and an iced matcha, because why not? I love this place because it just feels, apart from the construction noises in the background, feels really open and airy. Almost like a hotel lobby. Feels quite fancy and luxurious. I love the chandeliers. I love the greenery. It's just got a nice vibe to it, and the desserts and pastries are really good too, but I've never tried the food. Okay, now to be totally honest, my hair feels really dry. It doesn't feel good at all. It doesn't feel soft. It doesn't look particularly shiny. I'd say not something that I'd want to use on the lengths of my hair again, because it has not done anything for me. In terms of the colour though, it has not changed the colour of my hair, but if I had very light blonde hair, it may have changed the colour of it, so just keep that in mind. So as you can see, there's not a tremendous difference in my hair. If anything, it does look slightly worse after than it did before, but to be fair, there are a few reasons why this could be. In the before footage, I had just taken my hair out of a braid, so it's going to look the best that it can possibly look, probably. In the after footage, I had been out and about, walking around. It was a breezy day. My hair was open to the elements, so that is going to have an effect on the way my hair looks. I still feel that the rosemary water made my hair feel more dry, more dull, and just overall worse. It could be that the water was too strong. I had left mine for a week in the fridge. You could see by the color, it was almost wine colored. It was so strong. Most of the other videos I've seen of people doing this, they use it within the first couple of days of making it. So that could have something to do with it, but I will say that with rinses, sometimes the longer that you leave them, the better they become, because for example, with the rice water method, you leave it to ferment because it changes the acidity, makes it more acidic, which can be better for your hair. But maybe the rosemary was just too strong. That could be one reason. It could also be that my hair is just beyond saving, let's be honest. It is so dry and damaged. Maybe it's because I soaked it in the cup. I always feel that just rinsing it over your hair isn't saturating it enough. It somehow feels like it doesn't really get all of it, which is why I like to use a cup. I don't think that this is the reason, but it's still a factor that you can take into consideration. What I will do if I use this again, which I probably will, is I'll put it into a spray bottle and I will use it just on my scalp. I'm not putting that in my hair again. Another thing I tried out recently was a radio frequency device. In fact, I went on a whole mission to improve my skin and I did actually see improvements. Watch my last skincare video to find out how.